What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. Some somewhat breaking news about the Loot Crate company. This is a company that, to be honest with you, I've always had fond memories of because they were one of the first that I really noticed sponsoring YouTubers, and a company that really embraced the geekdom, the fans of things like Star Wars, video games, The Walking Dead, whatever it was that you wanted, they had come to your mailbox every month in a subscription box format. Now, yes, of course, many people know that you don't really get your value in the Loot Crate business box. In fact, there was a gigantic Loot Crate boom of just about every subscription box known to man, from cooking meals to kawaii stuff to cartoons to comics. Everybody has a loot box subscription box. It was the gold rush of the 2010s to 2015s, but it appears that the first domino has fallen there as Loot Crate files for bankruptcy. Now, I had been following some Loot Crate issues with, if we go back to July 20th, we saw, do you have the Halo Loot Crate? Cancel it. Cancel it ASAP. The crate has been discontinued. Many who have the crate sub did not get the other email about this, and you will be charged for other crates, being some, quote, equip crate, contact Loot Crate support, cancel your subscription. I also have two separate emails from people reaching out to me, letting me know that now that they've filed for bankruptcy, they can't seem to cancel their subscription. I don't know if that's happening to you, but if it is, and you want to get off the sinking ship, you might want to take notice right now by maybe sharing this video out or liking it, leaving a comment down in the comment section down below to help visibility. The email they sent at that time was, after 3 incredible years, it's time for Firestorm Apollo to stand down and take the well-deserved rest. The Halo Legendary Crate will finish tonight, and the Noble. So this is not, this is just the Loot Crate family. Thank you so much for taking part in this journey with us and being part of the Loot Crate family. None of this would have been possible without your passion and support. This was basically the beginning of the end for them. Now, today, we see reported by Gizmodo, Loot Crate files bankruptcy, lays off workers, but promises to ship remaining boxes. I don't know about all that. Loot Crate was once the go-to company for monthly shipments of geek and gamer gear, but now the stock has run dry. The company is filing for bankruptcy and has laid off dozens of employees. On top of the 150 warehouse workers who were let go last month, Loot Crate plans to ship all remaining boxes to customers, but given how behind it already is, it seems like a tough promise to keep. This is why I'm telling you, if you're owed a box, you may want to consider charging it back or making sure, because I'm not sure that you're actually going to get what you're supposedly paid for. I actually just had an email come in that says, I figured out how to cancel my future subscription, but cannot cancel the one they haven't sent out. I'm out $50 while they get the funding to allegedly complete orders. Yes, be very careful. If you have an existing Loot Crate subscription, watch this. Don't let them get away with it. In a press release released overnight, shocking, Loot Crate announced plans to file for Chapter 11. Reports and the financial troubles have been circulating for a while, including defaulting on a $21 million loan in 2017. Even though Loot Crate has about 250,000 subscriptions, the plan is to try and sell the company with one of its investors, Money Chest, who will see the initial auction bid, funneling a $10 million bankruptcy loan to keep operations afloat in the interim. I suggest leaving. The bankruptcy filing will overall woes have been devastated. The company has devastated the company's workforce. Loot Crate closed its warehouse and laid off 150 workers, announcing plans to outsource to a third-party logistics company. And additional 50 employees were laid off last week, leaving the company with just 60 full-time employees. Reports have surfaced on Twitter that employees were let go without any severance or benefits, something Toys R Us recently faced backlash for, resulting in a $20 million severance fund for 30,000 former employees. Co-founder Christopher Davis promised in a press release that Loot Crate subscribers should expect no changes. Daily operations will continue as usual, and exciting fan items will be purchased, crates will be shipped, and all aspects of the business will go on before filing Chapter 11. Our employees will continue to be paid as usual during this transition, he said. That's a pretty hard sell and hasn't been business as usual at Loot Crate. Knowing that we see this is a total mess. Loads of people are out their subscriptions. I would recommend charging back on credit cards. If it were me, that's what I would do. The employees getting termed with no severance is brutal given how much money this company was probably making over the years. According to the filing, as reported by the LA Times, the company had been withholding customer billing and still owes $20 million worth of shipments to customers. Some subscribers report not having received boxes in the last 3 months. IO9 Deputy Editor Jill Panzoni, who receives a courtesy subscription for the media, says the last shipment that arrived was May, a Nemesis box. There have also been complaints of repeat items, lack of interesting exclusive, and boxes filled with disappointing goods. Fallout 4 fans may end up feeling especially frustrated if the Loot Crate fails to fulfill its missing shipments. Folks who subscribe to the 6-part Fallout Series 2 set, which cost $228 in hopes of getting complete Liberty Prime set, could end up not receiving its head. Wow. $20 million in existing shipments. Customers left completely in the dark. Months of not shipping. Yikes. This is the original report according to the LA Times. Loot Crate files for bankruptcy and plans to sell itself. Subscription box startup Loot Crate has filed for Chapter 11, which plans to sell itself after running low on cash. The LA company ships curated fan boxes filled with geek and gamer products, subscription each month. Chief Restructuring Officer Stuart Kaufman said in court declaration that the contents include figurines, shirts, gear, gadgets, limited edition collectibles tied to science fiction, gaming, sports, pop culture. They're shipped to more than 250,000 reoccurring subscribers, court papers show. But the company is now in dire financial straits. Its credit card processor is withholding customer billing, meaning that regardless of subscriptions that come through, they are not going to be charging anybody's cards because the company is so far behind. Loot Crate hasn't shipped any goods tied to $20 million in sales. And the company owes more than $30 million in trade debt, Kaufman said. It's also behind on more than $5.87 million in sales tax. Woo! Wow! Just think all the YouTubers that have been promoting this over the years. Look, I look, as a YouTuber, you get a deal, you're happy to have it. From what I could tell, Loot Crate was a great company for a long time. They even had the extra spice of having the Mega Crate, which conveniently shipped to some YouTubers over time. But, you know, Loot Crate, as far as I could tell, the last 3 or 4 months has been a complete disaster. How is this off my radar? How has any of you not told me about this? Well, maybe I guess my viewers aren't subscribers to Loot Crates. Maybe that's the thing. It's one of many subscription box services that gained popularity in the recent years, including food box sellers Blue Apron and fashion service Stitch Fix. Loot Crate was co-founded in 2012 by Christopher Davis, who owns a stake just over 50%. Within the first years, it was ballyhoed as the nation's fastest growing startup, but soon serious cracks began to show. The firm defaulted on a loan from Breakwater Management in 2017, but was able to refinance it. A firm tied to Money Chest and one of the largest and best run collectible manufacturers and distributors of the world has agreed to act as the staking horse in bidder for Loot Crate. I can't imagine. Here's back in June 30th, just 2 weeks ago. Loot Crate became the nation's fastest growing startup. Then it laid off over a quarter of its staff. On its ascent to becoming the nation's fastest growing company, Loot Crate Inc. fostered a workplace in which employees warred with Nerf guns, proudly brandished Captain America socks, and chanted the company's name like a rally cry. But the end of last summer, when the LA firm landed on the cover of Inc. magazine for a stupendous expansion, the enthusiasm has been zapped. Employees gossiped about layoffs, frustration over managers, and dwindling snack bar inside a cramped, windowless warehouse of an office. Last month, 2 senior executives came an eyelash away from coming to blows, not with foam darts, but with fists. Chief Executive Officer Chris Davis now says he may have done the unimaginable, grown the company too fast. We bit off a lot, and everyone felt that, Davis said during the interview, and the company's Bell merchandise facility, trying to get all these different perspectives, skill sets, and level experience work together was probably harder than I expected it to be. The question will be, of course, what does this mean for all other? Because all other subscription services out there kind of will now be tarnished off of this. Now, there are certainly good loot box subscriptions for fans of video games, fans of movies, fans of Star Wars, niche subscription boxes. But I think ultimately what happens is you get a few months of stuff and you're like, hey, this is neat. 3 more months go by and you start to see them packed up, stacked up, unopened, and you decide to cancel. That's the life cycle of a normal Loot Crate subscriber. The fact that they owe $20 million in product to subscribers is quite frankly shocking. I can't imagine if you have 250,000 subscribers, that's, you know, if your average price is maybe $30, $40, $50 per box, you basically owe all of them at least 1 month's worth. To think about the numbers, if you have 250,000 subscribers all paying, let's just say $40, you know, a month, that's $10 million in sales. Yikes. I don't know if you're one of those that are waiting on a box, but I wouldn't hold my breath. And I guess rest in pepperoni's Loot Crates. This is bad news on a day of, well, not much else going on. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.